ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Cool. Thanks for being patient in the break, guys. We're back here live with the ESL Pro League, and we're going to go into our second, well, I guess, like best of two, not really, two best of ones.
Yeah, two best of ones.
Okay, do best of ones, fine. It's going to be Envy, the new Envy lineup, right, with Devil on it versus G2. So basically, French on French action, always a good time.
I only have to pay double for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. I just wonder if he came with like a load of baguettes or something. Let's just ponder that for a moment.
A load of baguettes.
Okay, never mind. So, Moses, what do you think about this match? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm really pumped. Can you not tell from my voice?
I can.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, you've only just filled for like, I don't know how long.
Yeah,
well,
we
basically
gotta play,
two best of ones.
Gotta play charades again. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to. I mean, this is like the first time we've really seen like new French blood in quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that'll be cool to see.
I guess like so we've had the same 10 players rather since well, Epsilon got banned basically.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen too many others. LDLC White have been kind of hanging in there in the wings, smaller tournaments they've been participating in. They've even been winning a couple of them, but they haven't really made a crack into the international scene on any level really. So
yeah,
this is
they haven't
like
been on the big stage at all.
This is the big moment here for Devil. He gets to prove himself the most capable water boy in CS, basically.
Or Powder Monkey, whichever way you choose to go.
Too. I feel like I didn't do a good enough job explaining that, right? Because basically there's like the cannons, so they can function. You had to bring the powder up from the powder room, and you had these kids because they were small and they didn't get in the way. They could like go through everyone. While everybody's running around, they'd just be carrying powder from the room up to the cannons. So there you go. That's why, I'm just thinking, in a CS way of looking at it, they're carrying smoke grenades, carrying flashes, basically.
You think he's going to be relegated to like basically just like a full-blown support role?
Probably.
I guess you're saying.
I think that he's going to be trying to set it up for the most part for his teammates, seeing as how I don't think that anybody on Envy really wanted to do that. Keo probably didn't want to do that. So, and NBK is probably in this like middle sort of situation where he's like, I'm calling, but I also need to frag. I also need to do a bunch of other things. Like, do I need to worry about this? I don't know. I don't know because he hasn't really had any big like performances. It's not like some kind of like simple or Oscar sort of situation where it's just like, actually this guy is new and he's wrecking people. Insane. It's not the case with Devil. He hasn't really made waves, so I can't really see.
It was NVK that tweeted out, right, that he was like the most talented up-and-coming French player, something like really, really positive about him, like in terms of his like actual individual skill.
Mm. So maybe he's just looking for somebody very consistent, basically, to like be able to back the other guys up.
See, I think that. See, I'm of the opinion that the support role is like pretty much completely dead in Counter-Strike, and I think Envy's one of the teams that like. They're expecting to be able to challenge Fnatic, expecting to be able to challenge Astralis. You need talent, like depth.
Yeah.
You need to have some all-stars at like every position.
Well, I mean, it's like we're seeing with in-game leaders, right? I mean, sure, okay, support role, right? Yeah, but like you're seeing it with in-game leaders as well, where the in-game leaders are starting to frag like crazy.
Yeah.
Hard carry like Fallen, for example. I think he's like the shining example now of the in-game leader that could still wreck your face. Nico as well from Mouseboard, so they're pretty much like the big two.
Well, I'm interested because the big thing we always talk about with Envy is when Keo was still on the team. We would always say, if Apex and Keo go off, like the game's just over. Like that's the thing, the game's just done. They win. So, like, is he going to be that kind of? Is he going to fill the second role that like Kiyoshima kind of did? Are they going to like kind of change things up? Are they basically just like plugging him in and say do they have faith in him to be like you're the new like Keo in terms of like win conditions? If you go off, are they still going to be able to be dominant? Right.
I mean, I think that's fair. But I put more importance on like Apex and like Kenny and maybe Happy. I don't know. Maybe the thing is like we obviously don't know what was going on behind the scenes either. Was there just like friction? Was it literally just like, okay, Keo, you're filling your role, but you're really not fitting in with the team right now, and this has been going on for a while, and we're tired of it. Maybe there was a coup of some sort that happened as well that we're just not privy to, obviously, because we're not in the team speak all the time with the team.
Right. I mean, there is precedent for it. I mean, that is essentially what happened last time.
Yeah.
With the big coup.
Well, we got RPK over here on the B side and Checkered, and this is G2. Obviously, always, Cash has always been a pretty solid map for him, and RPK in particular, individually, has been stepping up quite a bit lately over the past couple of months. So, going to be really interesting to see if he can actually, hit that high level. But it's going to be a quick take of mid here from EnVy, boost up and head towards that B site. They're going to go after RPK, and they've already dinked him down to 12 HP. So that's perfect. Perfect start here for Team EnVy.
Yeah, and I think that's an adjustment based off spotting him out there. Existence gets one headshot. He does fall immediately after the trades go in the way of EnVy. Even a nade coming in to ensure that he gets cleared out. And Scream up top. Oh, he's going to get destroyed by NBK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not going to really pan out nicely here for the retake. 2-on-4. Maybe it was communication as well that was the issue. That NBK is like, okay, well, we need somebody who can calm well. We need somebody who can get the fundamentals down. Yeah. And I guess we could speculate for days as to what the real reason was. As Smith lights Kenny up, he's going to get caught out. What a sick shot, though. Takes out Apex, single click, but the time is ticked down. Shoxy's going to catch Happy. That was the backstab coming through, and now somehow this has gone from a 2-on-4 into just NBK holding solo, and he's going to get flanked out in the end. Smith has got the kit, and if he can get on that bomb just fast enough, he's going to have plenty of time for the defuse. So here I am talking about communication, and somehow EnVy have just completely thrown that pistol around.
Yeah, with peaks. I mean, well, this is a decent battle. Kenny just gets caught out, but there's no need for this commit there by Apex, and he falls. I mean, that's insane, because that also pushes up. Then the flank has to start speeding up. Then the guy who's flanking around mid is all of a sudden he has no time. There's especially no reason for any kind of a peaks when you have that flanker in the kind of position he was in. Let that come to fruition. Your entire thing is just stall out and wait for him to come. So yeah, that's going to be stressful where they had that pistol on one. Either way, they go right back to this B bomb site. Both members of G2 stuck in checkers. RPK gets the first kill, but there's a trade-off by Kenny. Now they know exactly where RPK is.
He's still around as well. Eats a full nade, though. Nicely done there by Devil. Good bank with the HE. And now, well, again, retake scenario here for G2 going into this B site. Smiths will get that backstab on Devil. And Shoxy takes out Happy in the meantime. So it's going to be down to Kenny here with the UMP, trying to get that pre-fire going. But he's not going to be long for this world. He's roasting alive, and Shox just rushes him down. No fear at all. So nice recovery here by G2. Plenty of time for the defuse. No worries at all here.
Yeah, good damage, though, by EnVy, as well as getting that plant. That bonus money is going to help out a lot. But these first two rounds, they've been able to swarm into that B bomb site with pretty much no defense really holding up from Existence and RPK. It's been the pistol, and now just had a big advantage there in terms of their SMGs against the upgraded pistols. So EnVy looking early like they just want to abuse that B bomb site.
Yeah, I just want to get in there fast, which is interesting given the fact that I suppose it's a lot of talk has been going around about RPK and how hard he's hitting right now.
Yeah, he has been.
Maybe EnVy are just actually well, then we'll just go after the raid boss right off the bat and see if we can't catch him out. I mean, look at Shox. Total lack of respect from him. Straight through the smoke in mid-garage. He's actually going to push right on up. And this could be pretty nasty. Yeah, Devil gets caught out. Putting those shots there with the Deagle gives his position away, and Kenny's he's been taken down to 10 HP already.
Shoxy with a really good angle. That flash just holds Apex back. No armor. I mean, there's an opportunity for Existence to fall as he breaks open the vents just to drop a smoke. It gets placed a little bit too shallow, but regardless, it should be pretty easily for them to stabilize from here. Shox is going to get another kill, building up that bonus money. All that's left is Kenny and Happy, see what they can find, and it's going to be a bullet from RPK.
And he even manages to pick up Kenny as well. RPK, just solid work from him, holding off the B halls. He managed to kill the first man who was lurking. That was NBK over in Toxic initially, and then he's in position to just stop that rotation coming through. Solid 6-0, however, for Shoxy. So Shoxy's warmed up. He's hungry. He's ready to go to town. Same could be said for Kenny, though. I mean, 5-0-3, so Kenny's finding frags. It's really Apex and Happy who have just had not much of an impact so far. I mean, basically everybody else on EnVyUs, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, no real kills being found out by anyone.
Now, what is this pause coming through? That is the real question.
Yeah, that is the real question.
It's been a night of pauses, Moses.
It has been. Well, here's a question we could talk about during the pause, because normally when we the two big French revolutions we've seen in CSGO have always been these are the 10 players who have just been shuffled around with a couple other ones here and there. Mm-hmm. Do you think that EnVy would have gone towards one of these guys on G2 if they hadn't been picked up?
No.
Hadn't just been signed? Do you think they would have gone back to any of them?
No.
No?
No. Easy as that. I don't think so. I don't think that they would have... they've all played together for so long that I think NBK finally decided, okay, we know what we would get if we bring anybody in from G2. Yeah. We know what to expect from that. Now I think it's time to actually start looking elsewhere. rather than just going for another reshuffle, right? So I think that was what was going through NBK's head. And while it panned out, I mean, we have to just see. We have to give it time. We have to see this guy Devil's going to be under huge scrutiny, so there's a lot of pressure on him. So we have to give him just a little bit of time to see if he can't, you know, find his center here. Because it's going to be a learning experience for him as well. I mean, he's going from a team, LDLC White, who have never really had an impact on the international stage, to going with a team that has actually won a major. So maybe this kind of like unlocks another level for him, confidence-wise, where he's just going to feel like, okay, I can trust my teammates to pretty much handle any situation.
Right. Look at this position from Shocks. Early aggression from G2 allows him to gain this advantage. And this is this is interesting. Hiding inside the smoke. No one's going to expect that. He'll be able to push right through it. Oh, there it is, a pop flash from over top. That works so perfectly. What a tactic from G2.
Okay, that was sick.
That was so sick.
He's going to die for his troubles, but still, damage is done. Man advantage now for G2. Make it 2 as Existence steps in. RPK basically with the flank there, just lying in wait. And yeah, that flash, I mean, you got to wonder, you're just like, wait, what is actually happening here?
Yeah, I wondered what the end game is. I'm like, all right, he's got like 12 seconds before the smoke fades. He's got to make his move before then, one way or the other. And the pop flash is just brilliant.
That leaves Happy alone in a 1v3. Bomb is dropped back in mid as well. He's got 20 seconds. So I guess he's just kind of looking for kills, looking to make this a little bit more expensive for G2, because he's not going to win the round. 15 seconds, and he sneaks through 2 players on the A site. RPK, finally, there we go. Peeks out, gets him in the back. And an easy round here picked up for G2 off of some clever play coming in from Shoxy. And I think that was Existence who set it up with the flash. So,
why not? Yeah. Who else would you expect it to be?
Yeah, is it Existence? I think
no, it's Scream.
Is it Scream? Oh, from
Scream.
short.
Yep.
Okay.
That was so dirty.
That was really sick, you're right. Well, okay then. That's really going to tilt Envy as well. She's going to be like, what was that? And how did we die? And why is this happening to us?
That's one of those plays that just... That's why we love Counter-Strike, those kind of cool things like that. And then Shocks, I mean, just to even build up more money, goes right back to the SMG, knowing he's going to be going up against a light buy, possibly no armor. Just wants to do a little bit more feasting with that, with the MP9.
His hunger is endless. He's like the Galaxy Destroyer, man. He just devours souls. Well, now, Devil just barely gets out of there in one piece. Smoke goes down again, so that's going to put Envy on edge. Is the same thing going to happen? Just kills all over the place. Shoxy will find Happy. And well, it's just going to be Scream with 2, and the bomb making its way towards that B site. It's all going to be on Devil here. He faces RPK and dies a horrible death. So 5-0. G2 off to a fantastic start here on their CT side of cash with great money. So much money in the bank. Actually, RPK has more than Shoxy does so far. And Shoxy, okay. Seriously?
Why not?
Just get an M4.
Why not? Shocks this is like his ultimate revenge. This is going to be his masterpiece.
Well, I'm just going to completely
with an SMG.
Wreck you with an SMG.
Yep.
I don't even need a rifle. This is how low you fall in Envy. Allow me to demonstrate.
Reverse boost after the Molotov. They're just like sending this SMG into like the deadliest of places. Just going to be the first contact. Be like, see what you can find with it. For some reason, Shocks is waiting, biding his time. Scream's like ready to boost him, and Shocks is like, no, not yet, not yet.
Oh, I like it. Apex is actually just chilling there. I mean, if Shocks boosts into this, it's a nightmare, but the longer they run this down, the more effective this boost could be, because as you guys can see, Envy are starting to work their way up. They're like, okay, haven't seen anybody yet, haven't heard anything yet, so maybe the boost isn't happening. Now let's go ahead and start thinking about what we want to execute in the round. And now this is when Shoxy finally decides to step in here. And Kenny, it's the same smoke as last time. Molotov's going out, and they know what's coming, but Kenny point blank, he's going to hit the shot. RPK did push all the way up into main, and he's not going to win the duel versus Apex. Or rather, that was Happy, but still, the damage is done.
Well, Kenny has no idea where Scream is, and Scream's going to get a second kill, a missed shot. Confusion on the Envy side, and Scream takes complete advantage of it. Now it's going to be all on Existence, though. He's going to have the pressure put on him. NBK trying to entry into the bomb site. Existence at an off angle, and it's going to catch NBK completely off guard.
There's just a little bit of a flash arena that goes out. Perfectly done. Happy is full blind. He knows exactly where the man is playing from, though. Rotation should be coming in here from G2. In Existence, he's going to peek out at the perfect time once again to pick off Happy. So, man, G2, they're pulling out all the stops. This is really smart play that we're seeing from them on the CT side. I love the fact that they decide to push together as well. It's like RPK pushes into A main as Shoxy gets boosted up there. So it's like this wombo combo coming together where if they had both pushed at the same time, that could have been disastrous for Envy.
Yeah, it's very aggressive as well that late in the round. And this is the thing, they've set the tone now too. They've told Envy, we're not going to be afraid to have aggression early on. We're not going to be afraid to do it at 45 seconds left in the round timer. Now it's a complete rush out of Envy.
Yeah, this is how they want to change things up. Flashes are going in, so it's going to be a little split, but NBK leads the charge, picks up the first kill. Smiths is going to run into him, and Smiths will be picking up just a single kill. Scream with 2. So it's a man advantage again, and the lurk is gone, so it's all on Devil. At least he gets the bomb plant, so they'll get a buy in the next round, Envy, but he's only got 10 HP, so likelihood of him getting out of this, it's a bit of a tall task. It's a bit of a lot to ask.
Just barely dodging these bullets through the smoke. Flash up. It's going to completely blind Existence, but there's just too many right next to Forklift.
Moses, it's phase up. It's phase up. Just phase. What's up? Okay.
Oh, no. Got a finger for you right here somewhere.
Just the one. All right. 7-0. 3 guys with more than 10,000. Shox is sitting at 10. Existence is sitting at 9. Everybody's looking pretty hunky-dory on the GT side. Envy, or at this point, they've got to be wondering, well, right, so we've rushed B, we've rushed A, we've gone for delayed mid takes, and everything just keeps getting shut down. We've split B, we haven't split A yet, so you know what's the call here for MBK basically? That's what he's got to be wondering. There's the flash, it's ineffective. Pop flash comes out, it's not going to stop Shoxy from trading up. He takes out Apex, and now Kenny actually has to get in here. Shoxy needs some help. Easy shot there for Kenny.
Yeah, but the trade by Smiths, who stays to support with the second pop flash, and I mean the kills. Meanwhile, while all this is happening on the other side of the map, everyone's been obliterated as well. RPK gets a kill over towards the B bomb site. It's just down to Happy. This is a slaughter. This is a round. Envy's gonna have to take a pause next round.
Yeah, unless Happy. Nope. Existence with the push through B halls into T spawn will catch him off guard. Yeah, there it is. The pause. They need to figure something out here, because that time they didn't rush, but they kind of like just set up in A halls to wait for the push, and it doesn't matter. Like G2 are so confident now that they just kind of run into Envy and win all the duels anyways.
Well, it's this aggression from G2, like the Shox aggression in A main has been like 4 rounds. Like half of this 8 rounds so far have been aggression towards A main in some fashion. And Envy hasn't been able to stop it whatsoever. That time they actually put bodies at it to prevent that. But Shox still blind, finds a kill in the angle, and then Kenny just can't outright win the duel and retake that control. So G2 is just they're just stomping Envy right now. Maybe a little bit mercilessly, considering just with Devil now they're maybe trying to switch some things up. They're also still, this is still a very short time in MBK's reign as in-game leader, so they are going to be a little bit disorganized. But G2 is not helping him out whatsoever with this.
No, you're dead on, man. They're taking advantage. They're like, okay, let's put as much pressure on this new lineup as possible. Not make it easy for the new guy. Not make it easy for MBK. That's pretty much spot on, I think. And this will definitely get Shoxy happy, fired up. Because Shoxy, obviously after him and Smiths got removed from Envy, he's probably thinking, okay, so you changed again, guys. What's going on over there?
Not so easy without me, is it?
This is what you're missing. You picked up Devil? You could have had me. You could have had me. The star of this show. And then I think that's what everybody was wondering, Shoxy might have been the next in line. Wasn't meant to be. Instead, it's the new blood.
Yeah, and he's this is a good introduction to the pro scene, the professional. Because I don't think Devil. I don't know the French scene very well, but I don't think he's been playing at a professional level at all ever.
He's been playing. I guess
semi-pro, the LDLC, but
yeah,
has he ever before been at some kind of professional level, maybe in Source or something like that?
No, I think that LDLC White are they're pretty young across the board as far as experience goes. Sure, you could say the same thing for Envy. Most of them are like in their very early 20s.
Yeah, every time I see that, it makes me it's crazy to me, considering how well respected they were Source players in the past. So it's crazy to see them still so young.
Oh, they murdered people in Source. It's crazy. MBK, he was 16, 17 or something. Just walks in, dominates. But again, that was like at the end of the Source era. And then they were one of the first teams to also make that switch over to go with Very Games at the time with Existence. Well, surprise, RPK, bit of a tough time here. He gets that flash out just to buy a little bit more time, and then Existence with the double spray. Is he from Checkered? Where is he shooting from? Yeah, he was up in the vents. He catches out 2 and faces Happy in mid. Somehow his teammates are able to stabilize. They get control of the situation once again, and it's Devil. He has the bomb site, but he doesn't really have a whole lot to work with here. He does have that bomb, but in a 1v2 with Shocks already rotating around, this is not going to be pretty or easy.
Yeah, the best you can hope for is really getting this bomb planted, but he's going to take the fight. He's going to go for the win. At least he's going towards the Opper, but slow peeks the corner. Smith grabs it. Easy kill for him, so now it just, 9-0. That was just like a standard cash defense because there's complete mid-control for G2. Envy haven't put any pressure on it, haven't tried to force it back whatsoever. So despite the fact that RPK it doesn't have the timing down for the smoke perfectly, gets caught exposed out in the open, Existence bails him out with those 2 kills from Vents. And that's just the quick rotation because he wasn't playing in Vents at the time that hit started coming in. He was actually in mid. He had to actually climb into the Vents to make that save, and then that buys RPK time to get the Molotov down, and then it's just kind of a slaughter. So G2 not letting up. This round is, a half buy from Envy. They do buy armor, they do buy the upgraded pistols, but obviously the full losing bonus in their favor. For the next round, they'll be able to have the AWP on Kenny if they want it. The AK-47s will be out. All that good stuff.
All right, well, it seems like Envy, they're tired of B site. They want to get into the action over here on A again. So they're kind of spread out now. It is going to be that split. They're going to have that push coming in through Squeak right now. This is a quasi-buy for them, so we have to see. 4 Deagles, not exactly the best kind of rush weapons to have. You'd probably want to mix a Tech 9 in there at some point just to be able to get that run and gun element. But, they should be able to achieve something here, Envy, at least if nothing more than just a couple kills.
Pop flash. Smiths is going to get flashed in, and it's perfect. They gets 2 of them blind. He finds that kill. Kenny trades him off immediately, though, so now it's all on RPK inside the bomb site. He gets 1. They're trying to come over the box, but there's teammates on highway for G2, bailing him out of a tough spot. They've made their way into the site, but they're so low. And actually a nade just rolls in from Existence and cleans out Happy and Kenny. So a little bit precarious for G2, but they manage it nicely. 10-0 now, and Envy still no real success to even get on the board, and Kenny is going to have that ult. Maybe this is where he comes to play.
Yeah, this is the whole point of that quasi-buy, I suppose. Just make sure that you got all the money. You got all the Molotovs right now on everybody. Kenny with the AWP, do they go for a quick boost just to see if they can get in there? It does seem like it, and there we go. They cancel out the Molotov very quickly, just trying to take over mid. They've let G2 have control of this part of the map for too long, and at least Shox is going to be able to get that 1-for-1. Kenny strikes him down, however, and Apex is there to remove Scream as well, so no safety here for Scream. He's not able to get out in one piece. And now they're in a bit of a tight spot here, G2. A man down, and Kenny's managed to sneak his way out as well. He might hear the footsteps of the man holding close to Garage. That's RPK making his way up into Vents. But he's not close enough. RPK walks it, and now things kind of calm down here. G2, though, they are focused on that B site for now, and mainly because Smiths is in here in A. Look at this clever spot from him.
Yeah, this late in the round, coming into A main, you more than likely don't expect this whatsoever, but he's going to have to get it down. Once that smoke clears, he does find a new angle. But his teammates have got him covered with RPK and Vents, although, just as I say that, Kenny clears him out. Nice awareness by Kenny to make sure that doesn't happen. So Smiths is actually looking like he's going to have some attention put on him, and he's got to win this opening duel. They almost line up for him, but it's the bait from Apex. Smiths goes for one more repeat. That Molotov is going to be able to slow him down, but the rotation is so far away. It's all on Smiths here. Yeah,
and they've got a man in Link to catch the rotator as well. So Envy, they've really thought this out, and Smiths misses another shot. Not going to hit the point blank on Happy either. That's going to be it. Done. Actually, the man in Link has worked his way up short as well, so at this point, it's like NBK is just waiting. It's like Existence. You silly goose. I'm not there anymore. I'm behind you. You heard about this guy, Get Right? I taught him how to do that. And it is, that was it. That's all he had to say. Existence knew the depths of his despair.
It was at that moment.
He knew.
First round for Envy, and they have got to make sure, at least they survive with 4 that round. So they have some money. If they do happen to lose this, it's not like a hard reset. They can still buy into the next one. But it was off the back of that mid-control. They battled so hard for that so early on in the round, and now Apex running right through the smoke. He gets brought down to about half HP. Flashbangs come out, but Envy's already out of A main.
Wow, and Devil, he hits that shot on Scream, who was admiring the wall, basically. RPK and Shox are going to get 2 kills. There's a man quickly pushing up here, and that is Existence. Takes the fight straight up with Happy, wins it, gets the second kill on NBK, and he nearly takes out Kenny as well. He just needs to calm down now. Deep breath. And move in together as a unit. You've got your teammate there. You're going up against an op. So if you manage to get the timing right where you peek together, there's no way Kenny should be able to pull this off. but it's so tough to nail that. It is so tough to be able to get in there at the exact same moment, especially because Smith is going with an AWP of his own. So a lot of this is going to come down to existence, and he just rushes out. Smith's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they had flashes and Molotovs used as well, so Kenny's found 2 1-on-1s, but he's not prepared for that whatsoever. He thinks, for whatever reason, he thinks Smith has already crossed, but he's going to get bailed out by the fact that Smith has no kit.
How?
And Smiths currently has $3,000 before that bomb blew up, so he should have had a kit. So there's a small mistake from G2.
Well, we always knew Smiths was a tit. What is that? Smiths, you had that round.
Yep.
And how? Okay.
Let that be a lesson, kids. Kids at home watching.
Always buy a kit, especially if you got $3 grand in the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. He buys one now. It's too late, Smiths. Look at this, especially after your in-game leader like walks in and gets a 1v2 and sets it up for you.
Yeah. And that is someone we didn't really get a chance to mention earlier. We talked about RPK, how well he's been playing lately, but Existence has been putting up numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had like his individual level has definitely risen. I mean, he's up there right now with Shoxy and RPK, and that is really sick to see. So I wonder, because Nyak is not an in-game leader kind of coach. He's definitely their manager, sort of stepping in and making sure that the infrastructure is there to make sure that the team can just focus on CS. But like Shoxy coming onto the roster now, I wonder if they've split the role, if it's not just Existence calling all the time anymore, if Shoxy has a bit more of a say in it. Because we have had that kind of situation in the past. Actually, that is kind of... so Scream crashed, guys, real quick, just so you guys get an update on what is happening here. It shouldn't be too long. Yeah, okay, so that was it, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he crashed during the round. So, well, that's unfortunate. It happens. Don't think that they can replay it. But yeah, I mean, that's usually like the point of friction with the teams that Shoxy joins, though, is that, he wants to get in there and start dictating things, and you already have an in-game leader who's like, well, bro, I run this ship, so
Yeah.
you may be good at getting headshots, but take a walk, right? And that's kind of what happened a few times. I think at one point he was saying, I'm never going to play with Existence again, and then he's here with Existence again.
That's what happens when you are united by a common enemy, you know?
Yeah, that is true, man. Envy.
The enemy of my
villains.
enemy is my friend.
They are just like the villains to everybody, actually. We know there's no love because at Barcelona, it made it pretty clear.
Yeah, that was a big statement.
Yeah,
that was a huge statement.
Not friends of mine. We're not going to dance anytime soon. So I mean, yeah, G2 made it pretty clear that Envy, you're on your own, bros. Which is again probably what had to. Well, I don't know. Could you, if you were on G2, if you're somebody on G2 and if Envy came knocking, would you go back? If you were Shoxy or Smiths? I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I really doubt it.
Especially with like the form, like with RPK stepping up, like we said, Existence stepping it up. I mean, G2's looked good. They haven't really had many opportunities since they've kind of hit this new form to kind of show that off.
Yeah.
Major's going to be a cool test, though.
Yeah. It's a cool test every time when it comes to a team with Existence. Because it's like he hasn't made it out of the groups since DreamHack Winter 2013, which breaks my heart every single time.
It's so insane to think about, too.
And this is like a guy who's had the likes of like Shoxy, of Kenny, of like just like ridiculously talented players on his team, and
he's held as like the best tactician of the early portions of CS:GO.
It's like this is the my theory was just like you get beat up long enough that you just forget how to be able to actually win, right? It just repeats itself. It repeats itself. You always hit this block, and it's not until you can actually just like, if it's a fluke, that you break it, that you get a win, right? An important win, that you're able to break that cycle. You're just kind of stuck in there. And so maybe Shoxy and Smith coming back to the roster now, they come from a winning team. They come from Envy, who at the time were dominating, right? Obviously up until the roster change came through when they lost a couple tournaments. Sean Garris and Cloud9 were really happy about that. It wasn't until they came back into the roster, and I think Shoxy shows up and he's just like, boys, like it's time, right? You've been like a butterfly, you're a caterpillar, right? You've been eaten up by all the birds, fanatic, and it's time for you to reach your next form, right? Learn how to spread your wings again and fly.
I forget who told me this, but when Shox like initially joined the roster, like it was with RPK, who still hadn't found this level. RPK very much struggled and was a little lackluster on his first few months when he came back and rejoined Titan. I forget who it was that told me that Shox was actually playing like a really big like mentor role, like helping him improve, like spending a lot of time outside of practice on like individual gameplay with RPK.
Shox has been doing that with Smith or with Scream as well.
Really?
Like it was at Minsk where it was a little bit of a powwow actually. He kind of cornered Scream in the hotel lobby and talked to him for like 2 hours. You know, just saying, bro, you know, it's time. It's time for you to wake up. You got the aim, you got the mechanics. Now you just need to start really like looking at the game differently, trying to figure out, you know,
the bigger picture.
The bigger picture, right? Because you have all the elements. Now it's time, right? So Shox, he'll do that if he gets into a team. You know, he'll start doing that where he's just like, okay, you know, this is something you can work on it, right? And I'll be here to answer. It was the same thing when he was calling. What was it? 2014 Gamescom when he was Epsilon back then, right? And you know, he was calling on that team. And it was the same thing where it's just like, you know, I see what they're doing, and the issue is that I want to be in all 5 spots because, you know, it's I can just see like they don't have the experience to know what to do or the confidence to know what to do in these situations, and all I can do is just sit there and tell them, right, this is why I'm leading this team. And so Shoxy's always like that. He's always just like, okay, I see the issues. Now we have to try and fix them, or just make space for me to just, you know, dominate,
or
right?
just give me everything I want.
Yeah, exactly. It's one or the other.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least in this case, it seems like they've responded to that because I mean, we even Scream, who's, you know, not the highest in the scoreboard in this particular game, but even he, ever since has been on the older Kinguin roster, has looked really, really good coming back into this one. So this is in this pause, just once again waiting 2 rounds in a row for Envy. Their money still isn't that good though. But it's then these aggressive. That'll be the fun thing because that's the change that Envy made after going down so much. Like, all right, now we're just going to pick up the pace, going to be aggressive, fast out mid. You saw those boost overs, the flashbangs, very coordinated, smoke into the Molotov, contested that mid control very early on. Then the next round it was basically an A rush again with rifles. Benefited a little bit by that Scream crash, obviously, but overall getting into these sites, getting these map controls very, very quickly in the round. So how does G2 respond to that now?
Just keep doing what they're doing, I think. Like, don't change up.
Yeah.
Like, because right now that's like, okay, you know, Envy, you got 2 rounds and both of them have been super aggressive. The way that you change up, I guess, is you just keep going with the anti-rush nades, right? Because you have the money. You're gonna have the money for the incendiaries, the HEs. Maybe change up your timings on the incendiaries instead. You know, chuck those out first.
Or maybe instead of, you know, incendiary and the boost, because they were ready with that third player in line to just smoke it off. Maybe instead of the Molotov, you just chuck like 3 grenades up there.
Get those HEs in there to soften them up.
Talk about your cannonballs.
Yeah, there you go, man. Just lob those HEs. Oh, man. This is a little frustrating. We haven't had much luck tonight, Moses.
Yeah, no, or last night for that matter.
Or last night.
Yeah.
Or last night, that's true. It's been a real struggle. You get too used to... Okay, we got a quick update, guys. Thank you, Matt. He's back, and we should be going soon.
Cool.
Cool is right.
That is a long crash.
That is a long crash. I wonder what happened. Did he blue screen? No.
Maybe he doesn't have an SSD.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't make sense. It's been like a 10-minute crash.
Because, yeah, exactly. It doesn't take you. If you got a PC that takes 10 minutes to boot up, you've got a problem, like a bigger problem.
Massive problem.
And Scream should not have too much issues like getting a decent PC, right? So,
No.
Kind of curious about what actually happened there, but regardless, I mean, Envy have got to be kind of happy about this right now, at least. Well, actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
you could say that they're happy. You could say that they're happy, that it's just like, yeah, okay, well, let's talk it out and let's figure out what we do next. But at the same time, they were getting momentum going their way there, so this whole pause really kind of shuts that down and allows for G2 to discuss what was going wrong.
It's essentially a timeout for G2.
Yeah, a free one as well. I actually thought initially that it was a timeout coming out from G2, but then obviously it's like, oh no, Scream, bro,
come back.
The headshot machine. Like, if there's another headshot percentage sticker, like pick'em challenge going into this major, Scream's gonna make so much Skrilla.
Yeah, but you know, was it Cluj that this happened? That it was like the complete opposite of who you expected would be at the top of the headshot. Like Scream wasn't up there like at all.
Because it was like some one-sided.
Cutler was up there from CLG.
It's like some one-sided game where it didn't even make sense, and the guy was just popping heads everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is on the 7th best team in the world.
Fair enough. I'm not like super on board with Thorin's rankings this time, but but you know. I mean, his way of saying it, when he's got this like Jay-Z quote where it's like, you know, moral victories are from minor league coaches. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, it sounds cool, Thorin, but still would kind of have like even G2 above Dignitas just as far as like skill is concerned on the team. In front, above Dignitas, above CLG, Dignitas as well.
Interesting situation here. RPK has $1,200 and buy a kit. So, if you'll remember, that lack of a kit on Smiths is what gave Envy their first round. Now they're up at 2. So just a small mistake might be able to just snowball out of control if Envy can continue this winning streak. And here it is, another A execute.
Yeah, and a bit more of a passive hold. Nobody holding close to forklift, just basically holding back on the site. Shoxy lighting people up. Kenny's going to step in, pick up 1. Shoxy, last bullet in the gun, gets the 3rd kill of the round for himself. He could get a 4th as well, but finally Happy's going to step in and have something to say about this. Takes him out, and Apex takes out RPK, but that was over on the B site, so Happy's in a bit of a tight spot. He's got a man moving up on short, and Existence will eventually find the headshot. So Apex now, they know where he's coming from as well. Does hit the headshot on Existence, however, so this is kind of crazy.
That was another fight on the G2 side that didn't really need to be taken with Smiths in this position. I don't even know if he's been spotted out this whole time. I mean, Apex might think he's flanking a main or something, but I'm not even sure. I don't even think Smiths has shot a bullet. He hasn't. Hasn't shot a bullet, hasn't been dealt damage. He's going to find that kill on Apex, who jumps up on the electrical box. So 11-2, the streak is stopped. And there actually is not very much money for a buy in this round from Envy, so they might just want to do maybe a half buy, try and get the bomb planted. And
no,
for the last one, no, they're just, yeah, what am I saying?
It's the 14th round.
Stop me, Semler, when these things happen. Just be like, dude.
I did. I did. I didn't let, you know, there was the bus, and you were teetering on the edge. I grabbed your backpack and I pulled you back, bro. I saved you. I saved you. Don't worry. I mean, let me see. I was thinking about another short jump, and I was like, nah, no more. No more.
I'm not even that short.
I know, exactly. It's just like, it's, you know, it's that corny one where it's like, but you got a big heart, Moses.
Oh,
you know who doesn't have a heart anymore?
Yeah.
Scream.
It's kind of ripped out.
He's dead. You know who else is dead? Happy with the flank, though, is going to catch out Smith, so there's hope yet. There's hope yet for Envy.
The bomb is down the A site, though, and I'm assuming G2 knows this from getting that kill. And a little bit interesting to see Envy, I mean, going away from the bomb, at least initially. A minute left on the clock, and NBK and Happy are going to be grouped up through these vents. But it's like a situation. Shox is now, you know, see, they like wheel around. They both go through mid, but they don't group up. So it's still a very split situation.
It is a bit of a split situation for G2 as well, though.
Yeah.
I guess Shox, I mean, it's going to come down to Existence drawing the attention to himself so that Shox can spring the trap. Because right now they can't support each other, so it is a little nasty. Shox, he heard him, steps out, wins the duel versus NBK. Not as clean as it could have been there. There was a moment where it was a little scary. But now, well, it's going to be Happy in a 1v2. He's got the op, and he's worried about getting backstabbed. He's going to try and press onto this site and go for the counter plays, but Shoxy's ready. Sorry, Happy. Get wrecked.
Yeah. 12-2 now, so another force buy is going to be in order for Envy. They don't get the bomb planted, so they can't even pick up rifles. So this is looking, I mean, as if we didn't already realize it was turning into a dominant half from G2. They're now up massively, looking to get even more massive. They're only going to be going against Tech 9s, a Deagle on Happy. Plenty of utility on the Envy side, but I mean, they've been struggling to find success even with rifles, and this time it looks like they're going to head over towards this B bomb site right at RPK in Existence.
And RPK, he's got that clever little gap in the smoke there to abuse. Doesn't decide to hold it, though, because he is a little bit out in the open if he stays there. Is he just going to be waiting for any kind of nade to come in? That incendiary going down isn't going to help things, though. Flash will buy him just a little bit of time, but the smoke is there, and he's effectively locked out of the site. Real unfortunate turn of situation there, because RPK then gets caught. He tried to force things, tried to push in. Apex was ready and waiting for him. Shoxy, though, going to take the fight in mid. Will eventually overwhelm Happy. Yeah, at some point. But then Scream, what the hell was Scream doing there?
Yeah, I don't know. Shox actually, he had to turn from a flashbang, so he like just took the gamble that the first couple Beagle bullets were going to miss. Eventually did win that out. Now he's got a player isolated over towards Sunroom, and he's got to find this kill before he can commit into the site, and he does. He's down very low, though, all on Smiths with his AWP. Shox still goes for the battle. Smiths is trying to find the angle. No, it's peeking at leg shot, but Devil cleans things up. So third round for Envy in this half.
If only NBK had been tagged and taken a little bit of damage somewhere in that round. Bit surprising just to see RPK not have any impact at all, really. I mean, Flash, smoked, stubborn. He wanted to stay in that position, and then it ends up costing him in the
That
end.
smoke that was thrown in that doorway in Checkers, though, was that thrown by Envy? Did you see?
Do believe?
Because I'm assuming that, because there's no reason for Existence or RPK, because that smoke completely isolated RPK as well as that Molotov in front of him. So that might just be Envy saying, all right, we know RPK likes to play in Checkers. Let's just smoke him off, and we won't have to worry about that when we enter in to try and find Existence. So maybe a cool little tactical twist. Might have been too little too late. We'll have to see with the CT side, but either way, a monster half out of G2 on defense.
CT can be a little bit more forgiving, perhaps, though. When it comes to Devil, for example, if he can just get his aim going. But there has been a lot of clever stuff coming out from G2 to get them this far, to get these 12 rounds on the board. So it's going to be MBK with that peek into A main, and he might be in for a bit of a sad time. He's going to spot Smiths. There's the jump. Oh, he hits a sick headshot midair, and he gets 2, 3, couldn't even get 4. The smoke is there to save his life. What is this? MBK finally gets shut down, but I thought he was dead for sure. That was it. It was over. How does he find the headshots?
That first shot on the jumping player was so awesome. And now Existence fakes the plant, tries to push forward. Devil's ready for it. But what a solo hold from NBK. 1 on 5, essentially. And he finds 3 kills and buys time. This shot is insane right here.
Well, was
Get out.
that?
Get out, Smiths.
Yeah, man. And then that smoke comes down. It works even better. He kind of gets into the panic spray mode there for a moment. If he just
It's
was
also the
patient.
excitement. He's like, what have I just done?
I can't believe it, man. That first shot was so sick. And Kinguin, I mean, what can you really say at that point? You're just like, well, we just got wrecked, boys. Okay. That's how it goes sometimes. There's the flash. There's the peek. Apex takes out Smith. Shoxy, though, is going to find the headshot on Apex right back. But MBK is holding that line, so they aren't going to be able to recommit here, G2, anytime soon.
Yeah, Existence out mid as well. That's a lot of intel that he hasn't seen anyone quite yet. Scream's boosted over. He, too, sees absolutely nothing. So mid-control for the G2 side. They don't have any nades to use. That's the one biggest issue. But if they can, I mean, they have 4 Deagles, so if any one of these guys finds just some kind of incredible headshot, it could just be all over. Kenny hiding in this corner. He hears the footsteps. There's a third guy. Happy is cheating over towards Connector.
So quick rotation. I mean, Existence is still up in vents, though. He's going to spot out Happy, so he's looking for that headshot, but Happy, he'll land it first. And it'll be the 3 players now from G2. Kenny decides to fall back to the site, consolidate that defense with Devil. Well, now it gets a little tricky here for G2. How do they exactly crack into this defense? Shoulder peek, but he doesn't commit. Well played there by Devil. He steps out into RPK, however, so that's really not going to help things. And now Kenny's going to get caught out by Shoxy. What in the hell is going on? How do they actually get both of those kills?
Yeah, Kenny trying to beat the flashbang and get a peek with it, catch someone turned around, but Shox doesn't fall for that. Willing to be blinded, still gets the kill. 25 seconds left, and they've got to get creative now, and they boost up into vents. They're going to rotate back towards the bomb site, but NBK reads this. There goes Shox. They've got to win this battle, because NBK, this could just be 2 easy kills for him. Sprays down the first one. Down to RPK, has the bomb, but NBK's going to clean that out as well.
Easily. He makes it look so easy. Just took a little bit too long, and NBK, he gets into that long line from CT car, from truck, basically.
But you could see the issue when they have no nades. I mean, they couldn't even cross into that B bomb site. They had to take those battles with the Deagles at range. From there still, I mean, once again, just no utilities going over to the truck as well. It's just another choke point that's easy for NBK to just maul them in.
I am just a little bit surprised to see such a heavy emphasis put on the Deagles, though. Because Deagles don't really speak to, run and gun. Not the same way like a Tech 9 would. So, interesting choice. And while that was not an interesting round, that was about as clean as anti-eco gets. NBK just taking a little bit of damage there, but still 6-12, and it's going to be that big buy round coming in now for G2, the one that they've been waiting for so patiently, and now we have to see if they're actually going to be able to get something out of it. They're close enough where they should be able to close things out here, because if they win this round, EnVy are going to be in an awkward space regarding money. Should still be able to get a force buy, but it makes it look a lot better for G2. Oh.
Quick mid-control. That's a safe way to get up and towards the vents as well. You avoid any kind of spam that comes out. Apex doesn't go into vents, though. He's actually toying with the edge of that smoke. 4 members of G2 are actually poised over towards this A bomb site, including the bomb. Screams at the door, drops the smoke. And Happy's the actual only defender here. NBK's on rotate. He's at highway, though, so he's going to come up. He's not smoked off just yet. And actually, Smith takes that fight right out in the open, finds the first kill. Happy's got to hold on as long as possible.
Oh, Happy getting clever. Not going to be able to find the kill. Devil with the nade. He dunks Smiths. And Apex just charges in. Kenny somehow brings us back to a 1v1, and that was chaotic for a moment. Shoxy, who was lurking, and now he's going to try and create some opportunities here. He's going to move his way up short, but Kenny's coming up link behind him, so this could get awkward here for Shoxy. It's all about timing. Which way is he looking? And he is going to be watching for Kenny. Fantastic work from him.
Yeah, you could see Shox. He knows he's got to clear that out. Knows he's got to be wary of it and backing down that ramp, backing down highway. Just trying to eliminate the different angles that he can get shot at. Finds the cover. Good timing from him. But you're right. I mean, despite the win, look at this buy at a G2.
Yeah,
I don't know if they... Yeah, Smiths is only on a Tech 9. They have a Glil on Existence, 2 AKs.
Yeah, it's not pretty. Far from it. All right. But do they have enough money for that execute that they were using not too long ago versus Astralis? That's what I want to see, because I was wondering, when are they actually going to just start, you know, lining up that B execute, get the Molotovs in, clear things out, and just swarm the site? Do they have enough nades for it?
They've got 3. It looks like they want to use more Molotovs toward Checker, though, to force anyone out of Checkers. The defense is all on the bomb site, although Devil, he isn't burning alive, and he's getting 2 kills. Helps Kenny get a 3rd as well. This attack is pretty much eliminated. Here comes Smith with the Tech 9. Shox with 1 more, starts to open things up. But he's now in a 1-on-2 situation. Kenny's very low, but NBK on the rotate. Plenty of health to deal with anything, and over a minute for Shox to work with. He backs away. He's going to find a new avenue.
He's actually trying. Unfortunately, that vent isn't broken, so if he goes for it, it's going to make a lot of noise. But again, so much time to work with means that he can just kind of maneuver his way around the map. Now they have to worry about Checkered. They're not too sure. You can see NBK trying to play it safe. Kenny going with the shoulder peaks as well. But they're going to be in position now. The timing, the way that this clock is working, Envy should be aware now that he's had plenty of time to move his way into CT, into any which way, any angle basically. So Envy, they've got a lot of spots to worry about here, and a lot of this comes down to timing. Shoxy checks the back and takes a little bit too long doing it. NBK will catch him out.
Yeah, there's that timing. Off the back of an interestingly, like a pretty weak buy out of G2, out of a win. Don't often see that kind of a beat-up buy when you win a round, so... P90 and Tech 9 can't convert it the second round. But investment again into this one. It's armor, it's pistols. In fact, it looks like they're fully bought into this round as G2. It's all P250s, so this is more of that run-and-gun style. Less of the deagle they have to work with. Or they worked with in the second round, at least. And it's looking like it's going to be a very fast A-hit. There's 3 members here for Envy, though. This should just get slaughtered, although completely blind is Happy out in the open. NBK gets the first 2. Happy does eventually fall, but Apex and NBK are still doing work.
NBK in his corner. Yeah, it'll be Devil and Kenny to pick up the last 2 kills. They hold off that storm. Nicely done, though, by Envy. NBK, man, he just stayed alive forever in that situation. He was down to like 3 HP or something.
Yeah, and this is such a weird money situation for G2 to be in. I don't know why they invested so much into that round. I mean, it's got to be because they just thought they did more economic damage. It almost feels like those 2 rounds, I think they misread the economy of Envy. With that kind of like a P90 instead of an AK. Tech 9 on Smiths as well. Not buying up there, and then that round thinking they just still had less than they actually did. So G2 now, they have some rounds to play with still. They're still 5 ahead, so it's not, you know, super dangerous territory, but they still need to start stringing some together.
Yeah. That was just off the box. I thought he was going for like some kind of weird run boost or something across. It's been fun. Style points.
Oh, that nade. Oh, that's sick.
That hurts.
Scream.
That hurts.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Max damage, pretty much. Oh. They're really taking their time with this. RPK is finally going to die.
They're juggling these pistols, it looks like. There's a Deagle and a P250. Where's the Deagle at?
Well, they're both in A halls. Existence has got one of them, though, so yeah, he's the one who's waiting for somebody to peek. And I'll find that headshot on a Happy who was setting up the flash. Now he's actually turning away, so the timing couldn't have been better for Existence. Now it's, you know, NBK, he gives away his position, but that's not a problem. So long as he doesn't really peek, or he does it at the right time, as you guys can see, he gets onto that A site. So there really isn't a whole lot that you know, G2 can do about that. Plays it very smartly, backs off, and now it's an impossible situation here for Scream. He's kind of just hoping for somebody to get impatient and charge him, it looks like.
Yeah, he shouldn't even really be able to do any more damage. And you could see, look at Envy, how passive they're playing, just holding their angles far back. Scream's going to die here as he peeks it. Oh, no, he's not. But there it is. Devil finally does finish him out, swings out wide. 13-9 now. no plant, but there is plenty of money. This losing bonus is at 3 rounds, so there is a good amount of money in the G2 side. They do have all the AK-47s. They've got a couple Molotovs to work with, all the smokes they could need. They have all 5 players with a smoke, but it's just those 2 Molotovs on RPK in existence.
Can we just get that B-Halls execute going here for G2?
Like burn the site? Execute?
Yeah, like the full execute.
The apocalypse.
They didn't have full money. It's going to be an aggressive A take coming out here. Scream finds that headshot on Devil that was in mid. And EnVy, their answer, well, it's a little late, but this was part of the plan. Get into A main, behind the flashes, take control of it away from G2. So you can see Apex, he's pushed all the way up to the entrance. He gets that smoke down like Shoxy did earlier on in the first half. And now things get interesting because RPK, he's managed to get into checkered here. And it doesn't look like the man holding on the site, Kenny, he's aware. Goes for that shoulder peek, that jump, and I think he spotted out RPK.
Well, the Molotov actually forces RPK to be a little bit more committed for at least a certain period of time. Defense is split with Devil gone. He was very aggressive in mid all by himself, and there's the battle that RPK wants to take. Finds Kenny, brings him down very, very low. Still, not a lot of information gathered by Kenny, though. They still only saw 1 person there. So you see them, they're not cheating any kind of rotates over. NBK is still very pushed up towards lockers. But, I mean, the rest of the map is controlled by G2.
And with that man advantage, they still have some utility to work with as well, a couple of smokes. So when do they just decide to go for the push onto the A site here? NBK peeks out, perfect time to catch out Scream. Gets that flash down as well, gonna walk right in, do a little bit of damage there. Smiths force him back, Existence moves his way up short. So now that they know that there are 2 players holding on this site, NBK had to hold the line. If he won that duel versus Smiths, that would have changed everything, that would have dropped the bomb.
Oh no, Smiths has 5 HP and Happy runs out of bullets. There's Existence onto Kenny. Happy's the only one left. And this is, I mean, this is a nice setup from G2, and Smiths is just going to end things. At a headshot angle with that low HP, and he just wins the battle outright. 14-9 now. And actually, now the buys are going to start getting a little bit sketchy for EnVy. They can drop over some guns to Happy and Apex, who are down at 2,500, 2,800. And actually, Kenny goes for the AWP. So now we're going to see that brought out on the CT side. This might leave, yeah, I think because of that AWP, he doesn't drop a weapon over, so that's why Happy's stuck on the 5.7.
Yeah, he had 6 grand. He could have dropped the FAMAS, but maybe Happy just doesn't want it. He's just like, okay, I'll use the 5.7. That's fine. Devil did take the hit. He dropped an M4 for NBK. But again, they are just really putting a lot of focus on 8 main halls here for EnVy. Just getting in here quickly, early on in the rounds, getting those flashes in, making sure that G2 can't really get control on this part of the map. But again, we find RPK making his way straight into checkered. So now EnVy, they have to be worried at least a little bit about getting caught out in the open here. And with that angle, it's being held by Kenny on the B site, alone with that AWP. Means that RPK would really have to commit heavily. And that smoke going down is basically narrowing it down to just 1 place there for RPK to go for the peak. There's the flash. Could be a free kill coming through, but Devil decides not to push. He's actually going to hold back on the site. In the meantime, it's a trade, 1-for-1 in mid, but then Kenny finally catches out RPK. They decide to pull the trigger here at G2, and it doesn't go their way. Smiths and Shox, the last 2 alive. 2 on 4, and they need somebody to make a mistake here. And it's just not going to happen. Long-range shot coming out from Apex.
Low HP, another headshot angle when you're at low HP, so just eliminating the amount of body that can take damage. And there's Happy pushing up, takes out Smiths. Hey, Shox had to make a play there. Shox had to try and do something as the rest of his team just kind of collapsed, but that was a good battle from mid-control. You can see the pop flash from EnVy. 2 players on Highway, 1 in Connector, and they all peak at the same time. Scream's able to get 1, but not the second. Still 10-14 now. Another situation where it just kind of resets the money.
Really stumped right now. I have no idea why G2 aren't just doing something structured and rush. You know, like the pick kind of style just is not working for him so far. So, you're not really allowed to lose after that first half.
Yeah, right.
You're really, really not allowed to lose the map if you have that kind of first half. So G2 right now, they're starting to feel that pressure because Team EnVyUs, they're catching up, and G2's economy just isn't strong enough to really put up much of a fight.
Well, and they've got Shox at 1,200 and Smiths at 1,500, so this might actually have to be the double save kind of situation. If they keep buying it like they are, I mean, at a certain point, this is just giving EnVy an advantage and an avenue to retake control of this match. And it's still 14 rounds for G2, 1 away from tie point at least, but they're trying to win this one outright without a strong economy, and it hasn't worked so far. And now look, this is like all their eco rounds, all their save rounds essentially. The low buy rounds have been very, very patient outright. They don't have the deagles this time. They can't go for the pick. But that's going to help. Apex doesn't have head armor, and he gets wrecked.
Ouch, down to 16. NBK will find existence, and it's going to be that commit to the B side here. Kenny in position, will find the shot onto Smith, could get the follow-up as well. Playing it very aggressively, he just goes ham. Devil will find a kill in there somewhere, but Kenny gets 2. And yeah, I don't agree. What is going on?
I could just hear the disappointment.
No, go for a quasi-buy. Go for a quasi-buy, Tech-9 Kevlar, handful of nades, and then go for it. Now you have like this weird split-buy sort of situation. And those really haven't been working for him so far, so...
And now Kenny's in the mood, so it's... Oh, what a pop flash, though, and RPK annihilates Devil, and gets the second one to Kenny, and a third onto Apex. That'll make it work. Envy runs right into the blender and gives it up to G2.
Okay, then. RPK. All right.
All of our questions have been answered.
I don't even know, dude. This makes literally no sense. All right, flash in, and now they've got control of that B site, so this is it. Not really the time to be saving here if you're Envy. You need to get in here and find a kill somehow. MBK checking vents, not going to see anybody there, so that's fine for him. Might be moving through B halls, but Smith has got the angle on him. Smith is in position. And yeah, MBK, he's just not going to waste any time. He needs to get in here. Happy doesn't have too much HP, so it's going to have to be MBK, the playmaker here.
And he's coming out of vents for checkers, and Smiths is covering this at long range. He's going to be able to block off this avenue into the bomb site. So there's really not a lot of hope for Envy this round, except if NBK does that. Finds the angle so swiftly as well. He's got to find one more, but it's Shocks. He's too quick.
Yeah, this is not going to be pretty here for Happy, who drops down from the rafters. Shocks, he picks him off midair. And that's a round for G2.
It's a round for RPK. Thank you, sir.
Basically, it's a round for RPK, and it's just perfect with that flash.
Yeah.
Envy decided to go aggressive really hard into B halls, and RPK, he just manages to completely shut it down with a single flash nade. That's that lucky break coming through there for G2, really. Yeah.
Kenny still has the AWP, but it's a glass cannon this time. He has that over towards the B bomb site. Now Shocks is ready to go. He gets in a first headshot. Devil responds onto him, but he's so incredibly low, and he's getting Molotov'd out. He might just burn alive. He gets away with 3, but there it is, a long-range spray from Scream. It's a headshot, of course. Existence clearing out NBK, now down to a 4-on-2. And they're split across the map, and there goes Happy. Kenny's the last one left.
Glass cannon op. Vintage Kenny, please. Perhaps. I mean, he's got the magic stick, so let's see. That bomb, though, they have all the time in the world, and it's not even going to be necessary. RPK steps out into the open and gets another 2 kills for himself here before the end of this map. So first map between the two, and G2 actually managed to pick up the win. Bit of an expected result considering, you know, the roster change for Envy, but still, they made it last a whole lot longer than necessary, it seems. Just because, I mean, they ended up with what, like 13-2?
Yeah. No, it was 12-3.
12-3? It was 12-3. You're right. 12-3 at the beginning of the second half. So. And it took ages. It took ages for them to actually get in there and actually win a round.
Yeah, well, I mean, RPK is going to help them out. That was a really nasty round. But yeah, I mean, that first half, it basically, like you said, you're not allowed to win when you have that kind of a lead, but it's not just that. It just allows them to have those kind of mistakes. Allows them to get a little bit testy or drop the ball a little bit. I mean, you don't want to see it, obviously, but even if they do, that lead is just like almost insurmountable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just so many rounds going in. So, I mean, yeah, it's still what I would have loved to have seen was a G2 that, with that kind of lead, they just completely smash Envy. And then you're thinking, right, this is looking really good for G2. Like, this is looking like a revitalized G2. This is how things are supposed to go. The fact that they gave up so many rounds to Envy and made a lot of weird calls as far as force buys with their economy makes me a little worried.
I'm still happy enough about the opening of that CTF with Shocks, how aggressive he was.
True enough, though.
Yeah.
True enough. That was a 6 CT half. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and throw it to the analysts now to hear what they have to say about that first map between the two. And then we'll have the second map coming up after that.
Thank you very much, guys. So, yes, I mean, they pretty much nailed it on the head there. 12-3 half, you thought, okay, G2 just going to cruise over EnVyUs here, but couldn't seem to get it going on the T side.
No, well, they did. It seemed like they took a bit of freedom, seeing how they had such a big lead, decided to do a bit of a, I guess, untested buy in terms of, you know, a lot of teams will go Tech-9's armor or just save up an early buy, that type of thing, or just get a solid buy with an op. G2 actually go the way of buying Deagles, which nearly works out as well. They actually open up the B bomb site there with the kills from Shocks and RPK, but seeing how they didn't have the smoke due to their investment in weapons, they kind of figured they'd rotate over towards A and try their luck there, hoping that EnVy had done a full rotation over towards B. But it happens. It felt like G2 had pretty okay control over that game pretty much the entire time, especially given how, if you think about it, in that first half, one of the round EnVy even gets is because Scream crashes.
Yeah.
And gives them the
That's
super
true,
easy
yeah.
opening,
In the 2v1, yeah.
So for me, all right, so looking kind of, let's look directly at G2's T side here. You go back a couple of games in the Pro League, kind of, I think it was around Barcelona time, they came up with that really brilliant kind of play towards B that everyone was hailing, going, oh, this is awesome. It completely outdid Astralis. They couldn't deal with it. They switched up several pieces to try and keep it in check, but Scream taking almost the entry role, which
like
is a bit
4
weird.
rounds running
he would
as
just
well,
pile
yeah.
in, nail the job down. And they did a lot of set plays, which everyone was going, wow, okay, this is G2 looking really, really sick. But they didn't seem to go to that at all. They seemed to kind of shy away from the set plays. Of course, RPK heading over towards B was,
clearly a set play.
clearly, just, wrote down in the
this is
logbook,
you kill
RPK
three.
wreck.
Yeah.
Underline a couple of times. But no, it was a little bit lackluster. I think both T sides looked a little bit lackluster, which is weird though, because one, EnVy historically had this really nice presence on T side that I remember Sean Garris was going on about during the Pro League finals when we were up in NA. It's that they have the really nice slow pace to it every now and then. They actually take their time on the rounds, the great anti-eco plays. They come up with the mollies towards B, quite similar almost to how the smokes get put down, ironically, by G2. So normally a really nice matchup between these two, and it was close, but I still feel it's just a little bit underwhelming on the T side.
Yeah, it almost felt like because they won it so easily, like you said, it should have been probably a 13-2, maybe even 14-1 if without the screen crash, etc. That it just seemed that they were like, we just force again, just keep forcing again. We only need like a couple of rounds. It's just one of those moments, and then suddenly like, wait, guys, they've got like 11 rounds. We should probably finish this game.
Yeah.
Which actually was a quasi buy in the first place.
Yeah,
and even said, it's like, why is Shox not
quasi-buys,
picking up the Tech 9? He stuck with the P250.
Yeah, give it to
Got 29 kills in that game, did all right.
Yeah.
But solid stuff, no doubt about it. So, you guys at home, don't forget to check out the Score Esports app to check out the score stats and articles, etc. that can come up there, and we'll find out what the hot match of the week is this week as well. Keep your eye on that one. You can get it on Google Play or iOS. And anyway, next map will be, I'm going to have to look at my notes because I forgot, it's Train. Train coming up. We'll see how that one works out between G2 and EnVy.